Hey, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to slowly start as folks are trickling in from the waiting room. You are welcome to keep your video off if you'd like to. It's also always nice to see your smiling faces if you feel comfortable, but it's fine either way. But I do ask that you stay mute unless you have a question. You are more than welcome to ask questions at any point during this short presentation. You can do so using the chat feature or just go ahead and ask a question at any point by taking yourself off mute. So hello, welcome everyone to the CSUS 310, History of Environmental Thought and Sustainability. I really appreciate everyone's flexibility as I still have pneumonia. Hopefully, I'm definitely recovering. I'm better than I was yesterday. So I'm hoping by next week I will be all set and we'll be in class, but just stay tuned in case anything changes. But that is the plan for now. But good afternoon, everyone. My name is Diana Wasaanung'gokwe Seals, and you are welcome to call me Diana or Dr. Seals or whatever you feel most comfortable with. So a little bit about me is I actually started at MSU last semester. I came from the University of Michigan teaching primarily community organizing. I also taught in the semester Detroit program while I was a professor at the University of Michigan. So I have a lot of teaching experience as well as real world experience. I worked for 15 years as the executive director of an environmental justice nonprofit in Detroit. I worked for several years in Brazil doing environmental sustainability work between favelas. And my research area is in climate justice, environmental justice, and indigenous thought. If I'm trailing off, it's because I'm just making sure that folks are being admitted as they come in. So for today, we'll be going over the main concepts of the course. I want to make sure that you have all the tools and everything that you need to know to do well in the course. We'll be going over the primary units that makes up our semester. We'll be going over the syllabus briefly, as well as the main assignments with a few examples. And then if you have any questions, we'll have a time at the end, or you can ask at any point during our conversation today. One of the most important things to keep in mind for this class is thinking about the structure of it. On Tuesdays is we will always be meeting either on Zoom or in person. The idea is to mostly meet in person, but there's some Zooms that are on there. You can see them on the syllabus schedule. When we meet in person is when we'll have a chance to have small group conversations, discussions, brief framing presentations about the material that is presented to all of you. Currently, most of the material that has been put together for this course is written. I am going to do a little bit of breaking that up so that there are some podcasts and videos as well that can be done in lieu of the reading, especially if you are more of an auditory or visual learner and that reading isn't necessarily always your strongest suit. Of course, this is a lot of the foundational works around sustainability thought, so it is important to have at least access to what those works are. Excuse me. Thursday is when you will have an opportunity to do individual or group reflections and work. Several of your main assignments kind of build on some of the work that you'll be doing during this Thursday time. You have all filled out, or most of you have filled out the survey, the pre-course survey. And that is what I'm using to put you into groups right now. If you have not filled out that survey, please make sure you go to D2L, check out the announcements, and click on that survey so that I can take your interests into consideration when putting the last touches on the course, as well as making sure that you get into a group um, with the folks that you want to, as well as around the issue that you're most interested in. All right. So there are three main units that make up our semester. The first, we will be looking at historical perspectives and attitudes towards the environment, and also kind of learning about what are some of the main categories or types of environmentalism as it's been categorized. The second part, we'll be looking into resilience and systemic thinking and systems thinking. And then the last part is putting perspectives into action. So what does that actually look like on the ground today in movements, in environmentalism? How are we seeing our history show up today? And how has that got us into tricky situations and better situations? The main assignments, there will be three quizzes. The three quizzes, those will be during your Thursday times. So when there is a quiz, that is the only thing that you'll have to do on that week's Thursday. And those are on D2L. They will be open book, and then they will be due by Sunday of that week. There's a systems thinking group assignment. There will be 2 labs that will help set up your assignment, and then basically you're creating a product from your group assignment. So this could be a poster, a case study poster. It could be something that looks like a play or a curricula or a lesson. There's a lot of different ways that this group project can come together. There is a description of that systems thinking group assignment on D2L. Part of this assignment, also when you're done, you'll be asked to evaluate yourself, like how you showed up in the group, and also to evaluate your teammates. So that assessment is also in D2L, and that's due by the end of the semester. There will be an oral history, which is where you'll be asking questions of your friends or family about their environmental attitudes. There's a photo essay, taking one of the issues. It can be the same topic that you work on with your group, maybe a different perspective, but a photo essay capturing your environmental attitude, your perception of the environment, maybe a variety of different ways in which you see environment that might be different from others. And then the last assignment is the exit essay. Okay, so I'm just going to go over to the syllabus real quick. So the syllabus in D2L is actually directly connected to the Google Doc syllabus. So if there's ever any adjustments, they will show up real time on D2L. This is my information. If you email me, I will get back to you in 2 days or less. If you want to text me, especially if it's something that's urgent, I get back to you in less than 2 hours. And in a 300 level class, I actually give out my cell phone number, so you all have access to that. But just be wary. If it can be emailed, if it's not urgent, then just send it in an email and I'll get back to you. I'm happy to meet with you either in my office or on Zoom. We'll just set up an appointment, and you can do that on email or text. This has a brief description of the main things you'll be getting out of the course. There are 2 required texts that I would say a number of the readings come out of these 2 texts. These can be downloaded on the MSU library. You can see them as ebooks. And there is on D2L, there's a short description of how to access that if you're having any trouble. Here's the main course outcomes. And the main evaluations. So for the course assignments that we briefly went over. And then this has a detailed schedule on here as well. So this will say on here of, when we're meeting in class, if we're meeting in the classroom or Zoom, most of the time, it will be in the classroom. Thursdays again, that will be either your individual reflection or your group reflection. This Thursday is to just watch this TED Talk and make sure that you're familiar with the D2L site, that you feel comfortable with the assignments, and also to make sure that you identify who's in your group. You'll be getting those on Thursday morning. Those will be connected through D2L. I'll send an announcement out. And on Thursday, you should at least email your group so that you all have a way of getting in touch with each other, talk about how you would like to be meeting, if you want to do it in person or online. So that'll be the main thing for this week. Sorry, I just saw a chat come through. So what day is the reading quiz 3 due? It looks like it has a specified date, like the first two. It probably doesn't look like it has a specified date. The third one, I'll have to look in, I think it's in the schedule here. And if it's not showing up someplace else, I'll just kind of go through and make sure it's all together. So first one, second one, third quiz is due March 23rd by 11. Yeah, okay, thanks. So we do not have person in class on Thursday. So every Thursday, you will be doing individual or group work. And each of this group work will be leading up to your main assignment. So they all kind of build on each other. So you have individual reflection or questions or an activity, or you'll have a specified group time. I'll make sure in your schedule that it says in here. Sorry if I'm making anyone dizzy by going up and down. So we're meeting on Zoom, Thursday discussion on your own. You're watching this TED Talk, okay? I hope that answers your question, Grant. Okay. All right. So just back to the presentation. I want to give a couple examples of the main assignments. So there's 3 main assignments, and there's smaller ones that kind of build into those main assignments. So your group systems thinking is where one of the labs, you'll be working on a causal loop diagram based on you'll be assigned a main issue. And then from that, you can kind of like tailor it down a little bit. Maybe you were assigned as a group food justice because you indicated in your survey that's what you're interested in. You can decide to kind of look at a specific issue, or maybe even like the campus organic farm or something like that. And then you'll create, there's instructions on how to create causal loop diagrams. I have several videos about how to do that. So that's gonna be one of your labs. And then these will all build on each other. And then you'll be creating a product together as a group. And then you'll have a chance to evaluate yourself, how you showed up in the group, and also how each of your teammates showed up. For the most part, I've seen teams work very well together, but I do take those evaluations into consideration. And in the past, it has impacted folks' grades. So make sure that you are showing up as your best self. So the oral history is on attitudes and perspectives of the environment. This is a chance to interview your friends or family, kind of like whoever you feel comfortable with. If you can do a small group of friends, small group of family, do a mix of the two, 3 to 5. It's all written down in D2L under assignments. And with the oral history, you can actually create a 3-page paper, or it can be a recording or video of what you learned. You'll be assigning it as well to like some of the terms and perspectives that you're learning about in class. I'm just giving you a general overview so you know what to expect. You don't need to know all the details. Many of the details are in D2L, and we will be going over them several times in class. I want to make sure that folks are very clear, feel really comfortable with all the work that they'll be doing. And then the last piece is a photo voice. So, the oral history and the photo voice are the two pieces that you're working on your own. And the photo voice is a chance for you to take different pictures of things that you notice about the environment or your perspective, your particular attitude based on what you're learning in class. Like if you agree with utilitarianism, or if you're more justice-based, this will start revealing itself in how you're seeing the environment. And I want you to be capturing. Now's a great time to be doing photo voice. We all have a camera with us almost all of the time. So there's a description on the photo voice project. In D2L, there's also a couple of the individual works that you'll be doing on Thursdays that will lend itself to developing your photo voice project. Okay, I think those are the main things I wanted to cover for today. Do folks have any questions? I'm on a small screen, so I'm just making sure I'm not missing any chat. All right, I will be here. I'll stay on if anyone just wanted to talk more one-on-one. But again, I really appreciate your all's flexibility. I hope this was really helpful. And I look forward to seeing you next week, next Tuesday. Have a great week. Good luck with the beginning of your semester.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just saw some more, excuse me. Okay. Did anyone have a question that's up here? And then I did see some come through at the chat.
Is the photo thing something we should start now? Like looking for things around and just seeing what we find and getting as much as we can and then sorting through it later? Or is it something you recommend like starting a little bit later?
Oh, you can definitely, if things are sticking out to you, like if it's something that you're excited to start with, absolutely go ahead and get started. But it's not anything that you'll need to because one of your Thursday kind of reflections will be kind of like how to get started with it. But I also feel like, like if you have an idea of like what your perspective and what kind of things you notice are, go ahead and start capturing because sometimes that photo is just there once. So if something catches your eye, definitely go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure thing. Other questions from folks that are here?
I just sent mine in the chat, but I'm a little
Yeah.
confused about the Thursday classes. Can you explain, like, are we doing those on our own in the classroom or just at home? Like,
No,
we just work
so
from
you do
home?
not need to be in the classroom. So it is on your when you're yeah, so it's on your own. So it can be at home. You are welcome to use a classroom space when I've given open lab spaces on classroom time before. Sometimes people go ahead and meet in the classroom just because it's convenient. There's going to be about 2 group assignments. So 2 times we'll be meeting as a group, but your group can decide if you all want to meet online or if you want to meet in person. And it could be anywhere. It can be in the classroom, it could be in the coffee shop.
So we're only meeting, like, as a class on
On
Tuesdays?
Tuesdays, correct.
Okay, thank
Yep,
you.
absolutely. Oh my goodness. Stop. Are there other questions?
So this means we're not meeting for class this Thursday?
That's correct. There's a video a TED Talk for you to watch, and just to become, you should just become familiar with what are the main assignments and the syllabus in D2L. Great, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I just had a quick one regarding like preparing for classes on Tuesday.
Yes.
Just like the readings assigned in D12, is that all you're looking for is to come into Tuesday with those having read and understood?
Yes, absolutely. That's correct.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure thing.
Feel
Thanks.
better. I'll see you next week.
Thanks. Sound good.
See ya.
Bye.